Today I'll be demoing tool installer tasks in the VSTS build system. Tool installer tasks is a new category of tasks that allow you to just in time at build time acquire a certain version of a tool or a runtime. Runtimes involve things like Node, Java runtimes. Tools involve things like NuGet, curl, etc. So a lot of times the first scenario with tools, the hosted build image may not have a certain version of a tool you want, so we can acquire it just in time. The next scenario is more around tests. So if I have let's say a Node lib or a Java library or a .NET library that needs to test against Node version 4.5.6 or Java version 6.7.8 or the core CLR 1 and 1.1, I want to test my lib against all these things in a matrix fanned out build. So I'll be demoing the first tool installer task we created, which is a Node installer task. And so the first thing I had to do, it's a preview feature. So I had to come in here under my profile, preview features, and for the account, we want the new build editor, and we want the new tool installers feature. So in the tool installer features, if we look here, I say add a task, there's a new category of tools called tools. We have build utility tests. So if I come under tool, the first one is the Node tool installer. I've added that to the build. It's under preview. And I'm basically saying a version spec, which will be, I've deferred that to a variable for a matrix build. I could type in here 6.x. I can type any version spec, and if I click on this, I can do 6.x, 4.x, 6.10.0, an exact version, or I can do something like greater than equals to 6.10. So I can do full version spec expressions. And here I'm saying go ahead and get the version, which is the variable node.version. Node.version is 6.x and 7.x. And if I go to the options, I go to the matrix build or the multi-configuration, and I say multiply this build by the node.version. So it's pretty simple. I'm going to say use node.version. Now, one interesting thing is it'll acquire it if it doesn't have it already cached on the machine. If I run it again and it's a private agent, it will cache it as it acquires it or prepend it to the path, and next time I run it, it'll just use the one that's already cached on the machine. Hosted build is a new machine every time, so of course it's going to acquire it every time. In following sprints, we are going to run something to generate, basically pre-cache all the popular tool versions on the hosted pool image. So all I'm doing here is running node.version, doing npm install, and running npm test, and the one I'm testing is there actually task lib repo, which has like 267 tests. And at the end of it, I'm just going to run command line. I'm going to say run node-v and print out what version, just to prove which version I'm running. So that's about it. So if I queue this build, you can see it fanned out to two different builds. Build 6.x. It acquired node 6.x. It's running our 267 tests against node 6.x. And if I look at the version is 6.10-2, and now it's running against node 7.x. It ran 267 tests. They all passed against node 7.9. So now I know that my library runs fine against nodes 6 and 7. That's it. We'll be adding more tool installer tasks. We'll be adding pre-cache on the MMS image. So there's much more to come, but it's in an early preview right now. One other thing, at the VSTS task repo under docs, there's a full write-up on tool installers talking about some of the design concepts. We created a lib called VSTS task tool lib, which is a convenience lib, which helps you download, cache these different tools, extract. It has TarGZ, zip, extract 7 support, all the common stuff you'd want to do to go acquire these tools. And most of these tools that you're going to be installing are things that can be acquired easily via, download, NuGet, some sort of packaging, acquisition, and extraction on the machine, as opposed to, full installers with reboots, etc. And if you look in our VSTS task repo, you'll see the node tool, and you'll see the first implementation of one of these tasks. You import the tool lib, and this goes through and lays out sort of the general pattern you want to use with these tool installers. Check the cache. If it doesn't, then query. And as you can see here, Node.js supports querying via HTTP the different versions to resolve. So in the end, it's not too much code to write one of these tool installers, and we'll be adding more as time goes on. Thank you.